Hey everybody, listen. My name is Cece Tennille and I produce this fantastic show called When the Cookie Crumbles. And today's episode is super important. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to grab all the little black ballerinas that are aspiring to be Disney princesses. I want you to get all the ones that are singers that want to be in show business because we are fortunate that we have our real live singer who is a star on the Festival of the Lion King at Walt Disney World. So here we go. The next episode of When the Cookie Crumbles starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to When the Cookie Crumbles. I'm Susan Reddick, and I am your host. And today we have a real live Disney star here. I'm so excited. We have Yara Williams. All right, I got that right. Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
Tell everybody who you are and what you do so they'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. As she said, my name is Yara, and I like to title myself as singer, actor, and creative. And I am friends with Zawadi in Disney's Festival of the Lion King at Animal Kingdom.
Zawadi?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Zawadi. Okay.
So in our show, there are 4 singers, and all of the names are Swahili. So we use real African culture in this show. And so Zawadi is Swahili for the gift. So she is the queen. She is the Mother Earth. She leads the circle of life. And
I just know you're the lady with the big head. Is that right? I don't know nobody's name that's on the thing. I just know the songs and it makes me feel good. And so, and the lady with the big hat is the special person.
That's what they say.
That's you.
That's what they say.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. I mean, Cece said it right. For everybody, I mean, that would be a dream for me.
Yes,
So,
it is a dream.
How did you happen up to something like that?
Okay, so it's been a wild ride. A little bit about my background. I musical theater was my hobby. And when I moved to Central Florida, first of all, I just moved up here to get out of my mama's house. And I knew that if I didn't move out of the city, that I probably would not leave home. And so I got an opportunity to continue what I was doing down there, which was working in schools as a teacher's aide, tutor, aftercare manager, you name it, I did it. And so I got the opportunity to transfer up here. So while I was down there from West Palm Beach, I did music on the side, but moving up here, I knew I wanted to get into more theater. So it was a hobby. My last project was opening the regional theater, Theater West End in Sanford, and we opened that theater with The Color Purple, 2018.
Wow.
And I tell everybody that is a show that really changed my life because I was working in a school as a school clerk, and at our last week of shows, some Disney execs came to see our show.
Who did you play in that show?
Yes, so I was one of the church ladies, and if you've ever seen The Color Purple Broadway, the 3 church ladies bring the comedic relief to this story of sorrow and triumph, and it was so much fun. I would do it again and again and again. But the Disney execs came, and I didn't know who they were. I didn't even think anything about Disney. You know, I'm just doing what I like to do on the side because the school is paying my bills.
Yeah.
And they were handing out roses to all the women in the show. And this one particular one came to me and she says, you guys need to audition for Festival of the Lion King. And I said, really? And they were like, yeah, this show, they said, this off-Broadway regional production that you did, which was the first in Central Florida, by the way, really is comparable to Broadway. They need to see you guys in that audition room. So I was like, I don't know. So the audition, I looked on the audition site and it came around, but I could not get the time off of work to go to the audition because it's during the day. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I kind of let it go. About 3 weeks later, I was just checking the audition site again, and it came around, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like move heaven and hell to go to this audition.
Yeah.
And I went, and some of my Color Purple counterparts were there, and we were at the call. We went to the callback. Fast forward to the callback, and I'm in the callback, and I'm singing the Circle of Life, and the director is closing her eyes like this, and then she dropped a little tear, and I was like really moved by that. Of course, not assuming that I was going to get it.
When she dropped that tear, you have it.
But
you have it.
You know,
Okay.
the thing about Central Florida, nobody knew me prior to the Color Purple.
Yeah.
Nobody, not your biggest names in this place, knew me before the Color Purple, and so it changed my life. So that was October. In December, I was on vacation with my family, and I got a call. I'm in the Bahamas with my dad, and I got a call, and we're walking through Atlantis, and the call said, "Hi, Yara, this is so-and-so, and I want to offer you a spot at Festival of Lion King as a Wadi." And I kind of froze, and I said, "Huh?" And he was like, "You got a few minutes to talk?" And so I'm looking at my dad.
This is it right now.
I probably ran into a corner,
Yeah.
and I put the phone on mute because there's a lot of people around, and he's just talking. I don't remember what he said. Honestly, I just knew that I muted that phone, and I was crying. I was crying because I could never imagine that my hobby would turn into a career.
So you put on a big show 5 days a week
4 days
at Disney.
at Disney.
And it's like in a theater.
Yes, it is a theater in the round, and it sits right in the back corner of Animal Kingdom, and it is a 7-day attraction.
Oh, wow.
And so there are quite a few of us that are contracted, and then we have what is called a sub, which is what I started out as. And so to learn this show, I took a faith move and quit my job, even though I was not offered a full-time contract.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that this was something I had
You
to
got to
make
step
happen.
out on faith.
I just had to do it. And I did.
Yeah, you already had the door open.
The door was open. So
Ran on inside there. Okay. Oh, my God. This is
Yes.
so exciting. Like,
Yes.
This is like a dream.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So you
Yes.
go every day and you dress up and you get in the character.
And I get in the character. And
All
I just
right.
go for it.
Well, I'm going to ask you something. What have been some of your challenges? I mean, this is amazing. We got this little brown girl,
Yes.
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
my
and living your
goodness.
dream. This is wonderful, okay?
Yes.
Some of the challenges, because both of us, we're full-figured
Yep.
women and stuff.
Yep.
Help us sister out.
All right. So when you decide to perform full time, pretty much every day of the week is where I am right now. We'll get into that. But you have to really take care of yourself. And it was fun and games until I had to run up and down stairs a few times and sing and ad-lib, because I was always used to being a background vocalist, and now they want me to sing Circle of Life every day. And I'm like,
Full
well,
voice.
you got to figure it out,
Yeah.
you know?
When I get to the top of stuff, I'll be like, just wait just a minute. Let me catch my breath.
Yeah, so I made it my business. I was just like, you know what? If God put me in this position, I need to make sure that I am taking care of my body, that I am watching what I eat,
Yes.
that I am at least getting some exercise in the week, upping my water, like I drink like half a gallon to a gallon a day. But more recently, we can go through pandemic stuff later, but coming back after the pandemic, I developed some vocal issues.
Oh.
And yes, and so come to find out, it wasn't nodules or anything, but it was a severe case of acid reflux. And
Yes, I've had my sister. We have a trio. We grew up in the church, but the doctor told her that one of the reasons why she couldn't sing was because of acid reflux.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I had it affects my sinuses. Oh my!
It's a real thing.
It was lucky that you were lucky you found that out.
Yes, I was immediately went to my ENT because there was a time that I was losing my voice like every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And it's hard to
Acid
do
reflux.
a show.
It will.
You have to use your time. You got to call out of work. So I'm like, I got to figure this out.
Yes.
So they did a scope and everything, and I'm on the mend. Like, I've been doing very, very well. Thanks be to God.
Mm-hmm.
But those are challenges, real challenges, physical challenges.
This is exciting. So let me see. I'm just kind of overwhelmed with just thinking that I'm sitting with the lady with the big hat. What was the name again?
Zawadi.
Zawadi. Okay. This is exciting. I'm gonna have to make a trip out there. I didn't even know they had that at Hamilton.
Yes.
I just thought it was kind of like a place where just kids would go.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, tell me where you want. I really want to know where you want this to lead.
Okay.
Because you're so young. This is just the beginning of your career. Where do you want this to lead?
So, the older I get, or the more experience I gain, I realize that I have it in mind what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then God shows me something that is like, I wouldn't say a detour, but it's like all these things are working together for me. And so ultimately, I do want to do at least a year of a Broadway contract, but even that is not my end goal because I have a passion for the arts. I have a passion for youth. I have a passion for organization and administration. And I realize that being a background vocalist, I'm put in a lot of different areas where I meet people. I'm constantly meeting people who become a resource or a source, for something else.
But you're not a background vocalist when you're at work at Disney.
Correct.
You out front.
Correct.
That's big.
Correct.
That's big.
Correct.
Okay, I got a question for you. I want
Yes.
you to put some thought into
Mhm.
this. If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self something, you probably just 20 now, but your 18-year-old self, I always say, 18, that's a funny age because you think you know everything, you're just barely out of school.
Man. Oh,
What would you tell your 18-year-old self to help that person get to where they need to be?
I had a friend ask me this question once, and the first thing I said was, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. When I say don't do it is, I was in arts in high school, classically trained, did some theater in high school, and I knew I had a passion then. I got involved with somebody, and when you're a teenager, your mind's gone. And so we said we're gonna get married, and I'm at community college, and I had an opportunity to go off to school, but I did not go. I stayed and I went to community college. Didn't want to start right away, but my mom was like, if you gonna stay here, you starting right now, and you gotta work. So that's kind of what I did, but I kind of put my focus into that other person, and it did not lead to destruction, but it led to distraction. And
I like that.
yes,
I like that. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a big distraction, and while I overcame that, the grace of God kept me to put me back in His will. I overcame that, but I did not have to do that. So don't do it,
It was
girl.
a minor setback.
Minor setback, major comeback.
All right. So now, if you could tell a younger person that's striving to do this, what's a little nugget you could tell them, or something, information or advice you could give them to set them on the right path? Because this didn't happen by chance. This is your destiny. What you have. So
Absolutely. So the first thing I would say is the thing that you are passionate about, you need to go for it. And if you don't have the information about it, you need to find somebody who is knowledgeable in your city, in your area. Call them, do the work, call them and ask them, can you teach me this? Can I apprentice with you? Can you show me this? Because that usually leads to somebody else who knows a little bit more. And before you know it, you look up and you're doing exactly what you want to do. So go after it, but get the information. Call the person that is connected to the thing that you want to do, because it can happen and it's very possible, but we have to do the work.
Ooh, I feel like you just took me to church. Is there anything else you want to tell me about yourself? I remember you said you wanted to get back to something later.
Well, no, I was just talking about my performance journey. I think the performing is it's passion. The purpose is to impact lives. The purpose is to impact lives. And the passion for performing and creating and doing administration is the vehicle that brings me to that purpose. And so as you go on, each experience will bring you closer and closer to your purpose. And once you figure out what your purpose is, then you know how to merge your passions into that.
Whew, I just wish you would have brought your headpiece. and you could have just went ahead and sang a few songs for me.
Oh, goodness.
You say you do backup singing.
I do. BGV, background vocalist. I'm a background vocalist for several artists in the Central Florida area, and I am now transitioning to a network to where people call me and ask me, hey, do you have 2 people I can use?
Oh, so you're gonna make this into a business.
That's where we're at right now.
Damn, dog. I like that.
I'm not gonna stop it. I am very, very blessed. But
I mean, well, you gotta make sure you coin that thing just right.
absolutely.
Just
you have
right.
to sit on it.
I'm almost afraid to talk about it too much because somebody might steal our idea.
No.
Our idea. I done turned it into our idea.
But you want to know something, Miss Susan?
I might need to be a manager. You might need a manager or something. That's our idea. See, I stole it from you.
Right.
Okay.
No, it's a million makeup artists around, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be the only resources, and when God graces you for something,
yes.
He is going to make sure that you do it in the way that nobody else can do it. And so I am never afraid of I'm never afraid of stealing or copying. I'm focused on what I got going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we should all be. My favorite quote, I often say, I have it written on my whiteboard calendar at home. It says, "The will of God will never take you where the grace of God won't protect you." And it's by Bernadette Dove, and she passed away. She was a Catholic activist, but that has stuck with me. Actually, I've had that written on my whiteboard calendar since I was in my early 20s. I'm 33 now. And I come to understand it more and more every time I look at it. And that is like the coin for my life. Everything that I set my hands out to do, whether it's singing, whether it's managing, whether it's background vocalist resource, I know that the grace of God is going to cover that idea or cover that ministry, we say, right? And ultimately it's for His perfect will.
You're not married, are you?
I'm not married.
I'm about to marry you to my son, okay? I have enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you before you leave, are you going to do a solo album or anything like that?
I don't plan to. I have written a couple of things with my father in the past. I don't plan to, but I will say that I want to do everything that, like they said, I want to die empty. Right?
Okay, you're going to give it all. Put it all out.
Give it all. So if the opportunity presents itself and I feel that it's right in my spirit, I will do it. But I cannot say that is on the table at this time.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to leave it right there. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yes. So my Facebook handle is Yara J. Williams. And my Instagram handle is at Yara the Muse, all one word together, Yara the Muse. There I post where I am, my BGV happenings. I post about all the events I'm a part of, whether I am managing or volunteering or whatever. And I also am a little bit funny. Shameless plug.
You know what? I'm excited that I got a chance to meet you.
Thank you.
And I want to encourage everyone. I mean, I didn't even know they had that show out there.
Yes.
To know that we have one of our very own right here running around this city that's starring out as a Disney princess, as Caesar said,
Yes.
And so they can catch you where again?
So on my Facebook, Yara J. Williams, my Instagram, Yara the Muse, and I perform every Thursday through Sunday at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom.
And you are who in the show?
Zawadi.
Zawadi. All right, everybody. If you're a little brown girl, just a little girl, period, sitting out there, and you've always wanted to do that, I hope you're watching today, or if you're the mother, make sure you play this back so your daughter can see it and can know that anybody can do this. But if you have a story, a product, or something that you'd like to get out there, hit me up on my Facebook page on When the Cookie Crumbles, and we'll get you on the show too. My name is Susan Reddick, and I will see you next week on When the Cookie Crumbles. Bye-bye.